Hello and welcome. This is Kristen from the Online Selling Show, and I'm here to start my next week's vlog on what I'm expecting to do this week. I'm not setting really any goals. I've said this in last week's vlog that it is really busy now. The wholesale business is popping. This vlog is my journey of how I'm growing this new eBay store I started on June 15th, 2024 into a six-figure business, meaning the income I'm going to get out of it is six figures. I'm doing this through thrifting and yard selling because the business that I currently have that's been growing and been in existence for 22 years is all in wholesale. I've been doing it for wholesale for over 15 years. I don't want to, my husband and I don't want to continue this when we retire in 2 to 3 years. So we're looking to retire. He's going to go do, I don't know what, probably fish every day, which is fine with me. But I enjoy the yard sales, the estate sales. I just don't see me giving this up. So I'm doing this vlog, and my usual format is I set the weekly goals and expectations. I come in midweek, give an update how they're going, and then I close it out with what happened and my weekly sales numbers. But honestly, through the next several months, I'm just going to set some expectations, but give myself grace that it just may not get completed. So in the current weekly wrap up, I did mention I had 80 listings that I have drafted. This kind of next week, I don't have listings that were going to be listed throughout the week. So I just want to grab some pictures here and there and get some stuff up as I can. The other thing I mentioned in last week was having the realization that I need to have things drafted and ready to go for next year in these months of October through January, probably through February, because I do take a 10-day vacation for going away and doing some time for my hobby. But one of the things I came and realized, and this is why I want to document this as a way to show others how to get these things off the ground, that it can be done. Even though I have this experience, I still run into these roadblocks and I still have hurdles, just like anybody new would. I just happen to have some things that are more in my skill set, a little bit more refined, but we all have things to bring to this table. And one of the minor hurdles I came across was you can only schedule for 29 days out. That's going to become a problem because I want to have them all in queue ready to go next year. And that tells me I'm going to have to put a plan in place that if these are drafted and ready to go, I'm going to have to go in and basically revise them on an ongoing basis so they don't get deleted and they're ready to be in there through those months. But I'm also going to remember to go in and get them scheduled, so even though if they're in draft, that they actually get in queue to get listed. So I'm going to have to figure that out. The other thing I had to start putting into my mind, because it's going to be something I have to work out mentally, is the space and volume of what I'm going to need for that much inventory. I've been through it once with the wholesale business. It shouldn't have been surprising, but it did kind of hit me in this week, because if you haven't noticed, my cart is cleaned out. Yes. How much space that takes up. And I should have known, because when I first started growing the business that I have in wholesale right now, I was at first dealing with little tiny baby stuff, like baby clothes, baby shoes, cute, small, you know. And then all the home goods stuff started rolling in, and I had issues in those couple of years trying to get all that figured out. And I am going to be seeing it currently with this new endeavor, because I swore to myself and to my son and my husband that I'm not going to be overloading that basement again. To give you an idea what happened with the wholesale business, it did start out of my basement as a hobby business. Then we bought a shed. It very quickly outgrew the shed, and we built a pole barn, which is what is the main warehouse and offices and everything. The whole business got moved out to this pole barn, and then I overgrew it. Like I said, it just exploded. It was like, what? So for several years now, we rent 2 storage containers to carry the overflow of what's going on with the wholesale business. They will, typically the one will be closed will be cleaned out by January 1st, and I'll have them picking that up. But honestly, that second one, we have not been able to contract back enough of that product out of it into the main warehouse again to get that cleaned out. So that has been with us for a while. So my planning is I don't want to go and reload the basement up. I thought about a shed, but how many more do I need? I mean, like I said, I already have 4 things out in the backyard. And we do want to move in 2 to 3 years. So my thought was like, do I do something maybe like an old horse trailer or something to that kind of a structure where it can be, you know, just hooked up to the truck and gone with us? I don't know. That just needs to be mentally worked out over the next course of these months. One of the other things is I will be going down. I'm going to have to start planning very soon. I will be going down to Atlanta in like the beginning to middle of January to do all of the next planning for buying our business's Christmas goods for next season for 2025. And there's always been this desire for me to want to do like the road trips. Like I really need to. Like I don't have enough goods in my area. But I would love to do, there's a Peaches to Beaches that's in the Atlanta area that's like, you know, on a highway, long road trip, kind of yard sales and stuff. That one happens in the beginning of March. And then there's another one that goes from Michigan to Alabama, and I think that's like Route 127 or something. That happens at the end of July. And I started to think about it, and the one vendor has me fly down. They pay for me to fly down and back, and it's usually the end of the end of February, beginning of March, for us to go down and be like one-on-one and meet with different department heads and things like that to get our whole holiday order finalized. And I'm thinking, well, like if I'm already there and I can go down in that time period, because it's the first weekend of March, I'm already there. Like, can I just like rent a car and go do the shopping? Of course I can, right? But I got to work out the logistics. Like, is it going to be feasible? Because I'm going to have to rent a car for one. I mean, I can use the airfare down as what they paid for. If I use my airfare to go back as what they paid for, I'd have to fly or ship all that stuff I bought home. I'd still have the expense of any hotels or car rental while I was doing the shopping. I'm writing off the food because I'd be eating if I was home. But I know for my son being in Tampa at college and having to move his stuff through various boxes and stuff being shipped from Atlanta to New Jersey and back and everything, I know what the costs of that are. So then I started to think, well, if you're going to rent a car, what's another day and just drive the car home? Then you're not limited to what you're putting in the boxes. And by the time you pay for that stuff, that's going to be the gas and the tolls to come home anyway. You see how the mind starts working on this? Because then I thought, you know, what is all the expense? Is it worth it? I don't know. I got to kind of work that out in my head. And then the other thing, I did mention last week is like, it's kind of time, meaning that I can't really, I can't keep thinking I'm going to just keep planning these road trip or these weekend shopping trips and stuff. So I did look ahead for the sales. I'm going to have to take it day by day. I understand, but there is a sale that was last week that I didn't go to because geographically for me, it was more east and north, where all the other sales were like more like east, but slightly south. And there was 2 kind of together. I didn't hit both. I only went to the one, but I was kind of more inclined to those ones. And the one north that was slightly east and the north had a canister set that was honestly blue, but we had red ones that were exactly the same growing up. And it's just funny how like the things we didn't really value growing up, like it just was our canisters. And I know they sell for big bucks. So that's just in my mind, that sale. It's the canister sale. They posted another week for this coming week, all new pictures, and they're saying they're doing it one day on Thursday, and it's 50% off or more. And they're showing now more Christmas items that they never showed last week. And I'm kind of wishing they had, because I may have wanted to do that more. I don't know. But I'm thinking for it being on a Thursday, I may go hit that one. Really, really putting that on the radar. And then another sale that's happening Friday, Saturday is a company that I went to before. I believe it's the same people. They were the one that had the vintage toys that was like chock full in the rafters of the house. I got a bunch of Fisher Price Little People. They're doing a house and it's very, very beautiful. I've kind of learned that I prefer to sell products that are not like Fifth Avenue, like Gucci, Louis Vuitton. I like to do the middle of the class, but higher middle class type of products. And this house is very much in that line of style and decor and very elegant looking stuff, I guess I should say. But the only thing they're showing is like 6 tubs maybe in the garage that are red with green lids. Right there says to me, probably Christmas. And they have one picture where they took the lid off and there's Christmas ornaments. And they're very much in the stylization of what I would like. The box brand and stuff I don't recognize right off the bat. I want to say it's probably something that was selling at like Marshall's or TJ Maxx or Home Goods. I am going to have to do a little bit of research on that, but I do believe that I probably will want to go to this sale. I have not found a direct correlation at any point that, you know, them having higher upscale kind of regular home decor equates to being in the Christmas high-end price stuff. I've found that they can be just as mass-produced, cheaper stuff in those homes. So I very much have to kind of step back sometimes and really evaluate where I want to go for estate sales. So right now, those are what's on my plate. The people that I typically like to hit their estate sales has not posted anything. They have one up that's been up for quite a while now. And they did tell me in the past that they had sales going all the way through to the middle of November, but I'm kind of not sure what's going on with them. Like I said, they called me back from a text I sent them about these Lennox figures and that dishware set, and then they never got back to me after that. So I don't know if they just got too busy with those 2 estate sales. Maybe I pushed my luck with them too far. I don't know, but I don't feel comfortable right now texting them to say, hey, what else do you have going on this week? So right now, I'm just going to leave it until the midweek wrap up. I'll let you know more at that point as to what else I'm finding for sales. I'm off now to get home and start the packing. See ya. I've talked about how much I have. Here you go. All this has been drafted. That's not stuff. Nothing in the back. All of this has been drafted. I think that has not been in the globes. I did choose to list them without. This I want to do a video opening that. Those have not been. That stuff has not been. That stuff in the back has not been. I was really surprised at how much I was able to find selling this as complete, so that will be done. So tonight I need to get to that box and basically the pile that's over there to draft. And then I'm ready to photograph all this lusciousness. So I'm here for my midweek wrap up. And if you see any leaves come in, it's because, let's take the camera. I am parked next to this beautiful maple tree. And I have the moonroof open because I'm sitting here and it is a beautiful, like 70-some degree day. We're having like one of our last hurrah days here in southern New Jersey. So it has been raining in. So where are we for this week? Well, I'll say up front, I know I keep saying like how like this is it, I'm not going to have any more time to shop. But last night, today is Wednesday. Last night my son came out, he helped us get quite a bit of packing done for being ahead of today. So I feel like that there's not as much, I don't have to, feel that my husband's being burdened. I'm going to leave him to handle the wholesale business today. So that'll free me up. I just did a video that shows my dining room, and I do have 101 listings in draft. I have about another 30 that I need to get drafted. So that is good. I'll have a good 5 to 6 weeks worth of listings when this is done. And I just need to get the photos done and then those last 30. And that'll be everything from the last 2 weeks. I don't sit still very long. I guess I have some ADD. So I plan to go back and forth between them two today and see how much I can get done. So that gives me permission, I feel, to go for some sales. Now, tomorrow's sale is the one I've termed to be the canister set sale because it had the canisters that my mother had when I grew up. I did do some research on them. There's something about Moon and Stars. I don't know if that's a brand name or the pattern name. I'll try and remember, put a photo in here. And she had them in red. This company, when they were selling, had them in blue. And I think I may have misspoke. I think they're going to be about $100, $150 value if somebody has them and chooses to resell them. I didn't see many blue. There was a green and a like brownish yellow, which kind of goes for that time because I was from the 70s and 80s, so that kind of went with that type of color back then. So those have sold, but there is another canister set there, which is what I'm looking at. It's a red transferware set that was sold at Cracker Barrel. Those are selling for about $100, so I do want to try and pick that up. There's a Reed & Barton stainless steel flatware set I'd like to pick up. Again, trying to get these prices, you know, at a reasonable price. And then the Christmas I mentioned that is now being shown in the pictures that wasn't there last week are some, looks like some handmade pillows, like needlework pillows, and some towels. There is a container, those ornament storage containers that appears to be on a shelf, and it's clear. Looking in there, they look to be like kind of maybe Victorian or something in nature. I don't know. So that's where I'm kind of vested my time into going for tomorrow. I was trying to pair it up with another sale. That one was about 10 minutes further away. This sale is going to take me probably about 20 minutes now, maybe a half hour to get to. I was trying to put this other one into it to make it worthwhile, but I have looked at that sale so many different ways and times, and it's just, there's nothing in that sale interesting me. They have Christmas, but it's mass-produced kind of Christmas, and it's just, I don't think I'm going to be doing it. So I'm not finding anything else that way. So I think that may be it for tomorrow. And then Friday has two competing ones for my attention. The first one is the estate sale company, at least I believe it to be them, that had the toys that were chock full to the rafters, and I got a bunch of Fisher-Price little people there. I believe it's their sale, and sorry, this throat thing. They had these 6 to 8 tubs that were red with green lids that they took the lid off, and it's got these mercury glass looking ornaments in it, but I don't recognize the brand. I have tried to do more research. I believe it's going to be a Home Goods, but I won't know. Hopefully there'll be something indicative, like a price tag on the box when I go. So that's where I think I want to go, because they're about a half hour due north from me. And there was very beautiful, beautiful stuff in the house. I would not be surprised to find things from, I said, Pottery Barn, Crate and Barrel, Williams-Sonoma, whatever type of brands like that. Just a very beautiful. They have some things like those glass slippers. I thought they were Avon. I don't know. But they definitely have other stuff. I'll just see when I get there how I feel when I'm, looking at. So I feel like that's the one I want to go to on Friday. And that may mean I have to go out Thursday night and do some packing and stuff to keep up with it so that I can get myself free for Friday. The other one that was kind of drawing my attention is held by the company that had all the vintage Christmas. And they have some dish collections, and I'm not talking like the Avon like yearly plate for Christmas. These, like, one of them is like fish themed, and they're artist signet signed on the back, and they were released by Pottery Barn. There's like 4 or 6 of them in the set. So these are definitely like the ones you're hanging on the wall or you're putting on a hutch. And they had multiple different collections of different plates like that, not all from Pottery Barn, but definitely of that caliber or even more in price. But this company is not shy about their pricing. So I think I may, if I so feel inclined, go on Saturday for that, because it's a Friday-Saturday sale. Both of them were Friday-Saturday. But I really feel that for me and my wheelhouse and the things that I know better of in sourcing, for hit the one due north of me is better. The one that they're at is at the Jersey Shore, and that takes me an hour to get there. So just looking at the best use of my time, I think is going to be looking at that other one. So I'll be back. Hopefully I'll have some shopping videos to share outside of my weekly vlog, and I'll come back with the weekly wrap up. This is Kristen Mack, and I'm here to do the weekly wrap up for October 21st through October 27th. I generally like to do like the top 10, but truthfully, I had so much sales from my hobby of my paper crafting that really I'll just show you what I have in here. I had 24 sales. This is one of the lower ones. This was an item that I picked up at the 95 house yard sale. I think I paid, I paid 71 cents for it. I've been carrying this for about 3 months. I figured it was going to be kind of there until the Valentine season. So it wasn't really surprising to me it was going to take that long. I'll go through, in case you're not familiar with Flipwise, I'll go through the items line by line, and then after this I'll just go through as highlights. They're saying that this purchase price was July 23rd. Truthfully, I think that's when it just showed up on eBay for the first time, but I really have no idea where they're pulling these dates from, and it's really not relevant in those types of vocabulary to me. Down here it does say I bought it at a yard sale, and over here is the purchase price I attributed was 71 cents. So to go through this line by line, eBay collected a total of $21.65. That broke down to $15 for the item and $6.65 for shipping. I believe this was an offer that I took. It took 3 months to sell. There is a fixed final value fee of 40 cents, which I believe to be the bank transaction fee of them taking the money from the buyer and depositing it to your account as the seller. And they charge 40 cents per, it's a flat fee. There is a final value fee, which is the commission, and that fee is based on the total amount that eBay collected and the category you're in, the store. So there's a couple things. Generally, on average, you can just say it's going to be 15%. So for me, I paid $2.67. This ad fee is something you can sign up for. It's completely voluntarily done. I cannot speak. And it's based on whatever amounts you put in there and all, and it basically just brings the buyers to your, makes your items more advantageous to the buyer. I paid 52 cents for the sponsored ad fee. There was the cost of shipping is $4.68. So the net return is $12.67. You do have to keep in mind that when you see this net return, they have taken out what is known as the purchase price, which in this case was 71 cents. So it is all of these eBay fees, the shipping costs, plus the purchase prices come out, and I was left with $12.67. This left me with an ROI of 1,785%, or a net profit margin of 59%. So this was just like a little thing I threw in, and I still, it took me a little bit, but $13 almost, that's where they start adding up, all those little fees. This was an item I bought at the 95 house yard sale when I went with my friend, and truthfully, I believe that this was a reseller selling stuff that was slow moving for them. This was a Chico's jacket, and I had it for the same amount of time of 3 months. I paid $2 for this, and I took an offer of $20. To me, it was well worth it. I got almost $15 back for that item, so not bad. Especially because, like I said, I think it was a reseller and they weren't doing anything. This particular item and the next item I will show you was, I found this at a moving sale. I went in, and I wish this thing would open up. These were this lot, and they bought a second lot as well. And they were basically something at a moving sale. She offered me up this huge lot of shiny bright vintage ornaments. And these were sitting there. I mean, they had been overlooked by I don't know how many different people, truthfully, that had been through that house. And I just threw them in, and she really didn't change the price. I attributed $3 to the purchase price of this one. This particular lot, they bought $26.94 for them. The shipping cost they paid was $7.50, but I did do $6.50 back because they bought this lot. And this one they're telling me had a $20.17 net return on. So $3 to 20. And then the next one they bought was this one, which was $35.92. And this one had, I think, one more ornament over the other one. I think the other one had 7 or 8, and this one has 9. So this one I attributed $3 to, and I got 27. So you're looking $6 in purchase price for the 2 of them combined, and I made $47 total on them. And like I said, this was something that many people had been looking at, overlooked. They were wrapped in like a paper towel, so I think that was the reason that people just had not been paying attention to them. And they were up for 5 days to sell. Then one of the other items was these Fisher-Price Little People. These were one I bought at an estate sale, and the purchase price was $2.23. I got them in a huge lot with other items. They did take about 2 months to sell. I knew they were going to go, but it was just kind of when, because this is a very, very vintage. I think this is like the 60s, the 1960s is when this time period came out. I took an offer of $40 for them with $6.30 for shipping, and I got back $32.25. So that's where I say you got to pay attention to some of the little things at times at these sales. They can bring in some good money. This was an item that I bought. It was it was posted as a moving sale, and I got this with some plates and a vase and some other things all combined, and it is showing as refunded because unfortunately it broke. I took an offer of $30 for it with $16.35 for the shipping. It took 16 days to sell. I do need to figure out, because I am noticing when you buy your labels through eBay, it says it is covered for loss and damage, and I cannot figure out what it's going to take to get that done. I believe the buyer would have to file it, or I would have to file it on the USPS website. And truthfully, I didn't want to bother the buyer with it, and the cost to ship it back to me was going to be pretty exorbitant. The cost for me to ship it out was $14.24. I think they were going to charge me $20 for the label for the buyer to be able to send it back. So I just made the decision to write this one off, truthfully. I still have the plates. I still have the vase. Actually, I got some table placemats with that. So my purchase price was $2, but I'm really taking a full loss of the $2 plus the $14.24 for the shipping out to the buyer. So I'm out $16.24 right now. But you can't win them all. That's kind of how I'm taking that. Here is another item I bought at the sale with that bowl. Or no, I'm lying. This was in a... It was the wrong item I'm thinking of. This was, I believe, my town-wide yard sale. I bought this, yes. And I paid $6 for this item. And I got almost $26 in profit for that. And they were listed for 2 weeks. We still have a few weeks until Thanksgiving, so I wasn't sweating it too much, but I'm happy to see this fall stuff get out of here, truthfully. I'm into full Christmas mode at this point. This is going to be the #1 sale of thrifting, because my #1 sale for the week is a dead stock, broken stock from my business, and I have never seen them out there ever in a sale. This was an item I picked up at an estate sale, and I paid up for this item. I paid $20, and I was really, really hesitant, but I knew it was really pretty. I was able to, I sent them an offer when they liked the item, and they bought it for $44.89. I got back $18.30, so I pretty much doubled my money. Not quite, but almost there. And it was just a very beautiful item, and I feel like I rescued this item. It was, again, in a tub with a bunch of other textiles kind of stuff, and I don't think people were really kind of paying attention to those tubs. So let's go into the insights. So for this week of the 21st to the 27th, I had gross sales of $691 with net sales of $404. But again, I don't believe that because I do have costs to go in for the paper that are not in there yet. My average gross sale is a little over $30, and my average net sale price was almost $17. So I am happy to see this go up. I am trying to get my average to be $20. The net profit margin was 58% with my average being 60. So I'm assuming that the net profit margin is probably for this particular time period where the average is maybe all of my stuff. I have no idea. This particular week I was surprised that the yard sales came in very heavy, as my items that were selling were more from yard sales than any place else. That was really good. Listing by source, again, I'm heavy into estate sales. So I'm not feeling that's too bad. The listings, I am starting to see some stuff going in for the $100 to $200 range. I was happy to see that. I would like to see maybe that range of 50 to 200 taking over about a third of this graph. Last week we did not have anything in that price range, so that's kind of making me feel better about that. They're saying I didn't spend anything new on inventory, but I truthfully think it's just because of the way my listings are going in right now. That's not really true. The cost of goods was almost $42. I spent $110 on marketplace fees, and shipping labels were $135. So here we are again where my store is shrinking. I only got 21 listings up because I am scheduling them right now to only have 3 going up, and I sold 25. So my store is shrinking. I'm gonna have to make that an effort in the new year to really start trying to get more listings on. So this is good. I mean, I'm happy to see that people are buying what I'm selling. 2 months is still my average time to sell, and my return on investment is 352%, and my average ROI is 632%. So I'm hoping that you're liking this, where you're seeing basically that I'm putting my money where my mouth is, that stuff where, you know, what is selling, how much is selling. I'm going to tell you for now, I do have expectations there will be 4 playlists going up for me. This is the weekly vlog where I set up my goals and actually show the insights of what's going on with my store. The second is going to be special episodes that are specific to a topic. Generally, you know, it's a one and done kind of thing. I may do some that are multi-parts, but for the most part, it's just a topic I'm hitting on. Third is going to be the shop with me, which is where you can see me going out and actually buying this stuff, and I discuss my strategies of what I'm going for. And then the fourth is what did I buy and why did I buy it? If you want to become more educated on what my eye was seeing that day and why I believe that the items are going to sell for as much as they're going to sell. So catch those different playlists that I will have going up. I would appreciate some comments down below. I would appreciate a thumbs up if you got anything good out of this. And I would really appreciate if you would hit that subscribe button down below. Help me grow the channel, but also put my future videos in your feed. I'm going to say bye for now, and I'll catch you on the next one.